What's up, everybody? We're going to take a look at some of the submissions for the Spaced Challenge. We're going to start with just some of the entries on Dribbble. Now, if you want to look at these two, just search Spaced Challenge in Dribbble, and you'll get this whole beautiful list of all these entries. So again, I'm just going to look at what stands out. All right, so let's take a look at this. We got the moon here, which is great. We got some nice big text. CTA here, which is nice and clear because it's got the sci-fi UI, which I like and stands out. We got some other elements around here, but what it's missing, I love the visual style, but what it's missing is feeling like an actual product, feeling like I can come here and book travel. That should be up front and center. We should still, yes, we should feature the moon or whatever destination, but we also should feature action items that let me pick travel. How many people are coming with me? Where am I going? Where am I launching from? So all very, very important things. So a perfect example, if you look at Virgin America, you can see that this is a place to book travel. You know, I've got one adult traveling from wherever and I'm going to wherever. It's very, very clear that that's what's happening. That's what I want for Spaced. That's what I envision. So I need to know that I can book travel. And as beautiful as this is, I don't think I can book travel here yet. That's something to know. I really want to see booking travel. I need to sell these tickets, money. This is a business. Something to think about. This is kind of cool too. This is standing out a little bit. Let's take a look. Got a widow right here. Whenever you're designing something with text, especially big feature images, try not to have one word on its own line. I call that a widow. And it just draws your attention straight to that. And it looks like a mistake, like that could easily be up here. So either bring Nike up here or add another word so Nike's not alone. So that's something to always consider. I wouldn't necessarily call that a rule, but it's something to keep in your mind. And overall, this is a great example of a design that lets me know I can book travel. So I actually really like this. So from JFK to the moon, departure date, return date, how many travelers go. This is great. I like this a lot. It does feel a little too startup-y. I know that's not like a coined term that you should be saying with feedback, but that's what I got. It feels like a startup. And and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't really know what's happening with the background image. It looks like it's the tail end of a shuttle type thing, very abstract. I like it, but it doesn't inspire me to travel at all. So that's something to think about. And it's showing that there's a video here, but I have no reason to click on the video because I don't even know what it is. There's no visual cue other than the play button. So maybe think about teasing what's behind that too. And I'm sure making the background image a little bit better would help with that. Love the colors. Colors are great. This is great. A little bit too cartoony for my taste, but I actually really, really like it. The colors mesh really well together. Love the text. This is super good. This is nice. All this is really, really nice. This would be great if it stood out a little bit more, like maybe these colors popped a little bit more on the planets and the moon, just to differentiate them a little bit, just to make them different, to make them stand out from each other. Something to think about. But overall, I mean, I really love this style. This is really nice. I feel like there could be like a book travel button down here. This I thought was really cool. I mean, the animation is selling me pretty good here too. I love how that looks like a spaceship. And I know I said don't do spaceships, but this technically isn't a spaceship. And I like that it's just the word. I'm not a fan of, I do like symbols, but with a word so short like Spaced, I think we can get away with just a word mark. That doesn't mean I don't want a symbol, but I mean, it's so short. It's just what, 6 letters? I like that we can get away with just saying Spaced and having the logo, the text itself. Something like this is super simple and clean. Oh, it's animated. Ah. Oh, that's cool. Okay, see, I didn't even see that. I'm glad I clicked on that because I didn't even see that this is actually the mark. I love this. This is really, 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 really cool. I really like this too because it looks like a bunch of different characters from different languages together, and like with space travel and like, you know, maybe we meet some aliens out there. I just kind of like the look that it's like all the languages coming together to form the symbol, even though it's clearly just English. Let's see what's going on. So this is another one with that same S. I don't like it as much here. And I think maybe just because you're featuring the S. I think featuring, like, pulling out this E and D is a little bit more powerful. But even as itself, as just the text all together, I think is more powerful than the S. Not a fan of the S. I'm not really a fan of stuff like this. I think this is great, but like I think having the A as a spaceship is like the first thing that comes to mind when anytime you write out this logo. It's like, oh, let's make the A as a spaceship. I think it's cool. I just think it's too obvious, and this is not an obvious brand. I feel like we're innovators, like we're taking space travel to the next level. So maybe the launch with the A, let's turn an A into a spaceship, is not the right approach. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's great. I think we can move past something like that. Also too, with the C being a moon, I really like it. Like, it makes so much sense. But we go more places than the moon. That symbol, I know that symbol can mean any planet, but it does symbolize the moon. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I'm a fan of the logo turning the C into a moon. I think it's genius. I think it's really smart. Just not a fan of that as a brand, as a mark, as a whole. If you think about it, like if this was a symbol, what would the symbol be? The symbol would just be the moon, and then you're just like, the moon. Oh, it's just the moon company. I think we can push it a little bit further. Okay, so this is interesting. I like this layout a lot. I think it's really fun. I actually like this helmet thing that's going on here. What I don't like is the illustration style. I struggle hard with illustrations. I think they're, just like with a photo, it's very personal. Everyone kind of has their own reasoning behind an illustration and what the visual means. To me, this is just makes me feel like this is like the Jetsons or something cartoony. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's great design. It's just not what we're looking for with Spaced. Overall, everything else is nice. Like if this was like a picture of a moon back here or like a planet, you can imagine how visually pleasing that would be. So I think like if this is what you want to submit, I would take off the illustrations, just put a beautiful photo back here, maybe tweak something else here, maybe make the purple stand out a little bit more. It doesn't really stand out as much on the gray text or on the gray background. So that could be something that you do too. Overall though, besides that, pretty nice. This I like. And I don't know if I like it because of the image or because of the logo. Either way, I love this. Thank you for doing this as well. I love seeing these advertisements. And again, the logo looks great. I love this like teal color too. Clearly you're not designing the website, but I think you focused on the logo. And this is actually one of my favorite logos. I just think it works. It works just as a mark. Like, look at that. This is really nice. I love the branding touch too with the color palette. You're not just slapping on a black logo on white. You're actually thinking about the branding too. I think this is beautiful. I think this is great. And it really sold it to me when I saw it on a spaceship like this, even though that's not what our spaceships look like. But this is just clean. I do want to say though, I don't want spaceships and I don't want rings. And I might say I don't want planets, but maybe I do want planets. Now that doesn't say I'm 100% on that, but you could easily change my mind. However, I just think spaceships, rings, and planets are the obvious things to do. And it looks like other things that already exist. So this being like the next big thing, the future, I don't really want to do something that a lot of people are already doing. I want to be my own. I like this a lot. It's just not the right feel. I don't know that focusing on the face mask is right. I don't even know that we wear a face mask. And face masks we might not wear 5 years from now. So I don't know that it scales. We'd obviously have to change it in a few years whenever we don't have to use mask anymore. So that's my only issue with that one. Oh, look at this. Look at this detail. We got stars going back there. Planets come in like that. Begin Mars voyage. I like that you said voyage. It's really cool. The pricing stands out. I feel like this is an old iPhone mock-up. What size phone is that? I could be wrong, because I've been designing a lot on iPhone X, so I could be wrong, but this looks like an older, smaller iPhone design. Again, I'm probably wrong. But I mean, honestly, I really like this. I think it's great. Visual style is there. Hierarchy of content's there. One thing you might want to work on is the text here. See, I was running over the edge, especially on this one. Like the spacing's not the same. You can see the button jumps around too. Watch. Or here, maybe. Yeah, see the button kind of jumps around. Again, those aren't necessarily deal breakers, but like when you're presenting something to a client, you want to, those details are important. They'll notice. Like the only thing you notice when this switches is that jump. Even though that jump isn't meant to happen, their eyes just kind of go to that when you're presenting. So even though it might take an extra minute or two to fix that, it's definitely worth it, and it'll help your presentations a lot. So this is kind of the same design as that first website we looked at. I mean, I love the feature, I love the structure. I think it's great. Let's see. I don't know what's happening here. So I just don't know what's happening here. Like I'm assuming this is a photo gallery of the moon. One thing throwing me off is where get ticket is. I don't know. I mean, this should be maybe like a full, I don't want to say should. Maybe this would be better if it was a bigger button that stretches across this whole text space. It's really throwing me off that it's right here, and it's also the same kind of style as the selected state of this moon. So all that's throwing me off. I don't know why there's a back over here. Yeah, I'm just struggling with this one. I don't really know what's happening. And then this, it just threw me off that this isn't the same width. Like either make this the same width or this the same width. It's not a big deal, but like just things aren't lining up. Like subscribe isn't lining up with Amazon. Let's go now isn't lining up with subscribe or Amazon. I mean, it's lining up with input fields, but I think it'd be better if this was a little bit more consistent. So like this is Space 2030. That's nice. Details like this are fun when you do client presentations. Don't not do stuff like that. Another thing, like it's ironic that this text says do not miss, because you clearly are going to miss this text because it's just the contrast isn't there. It's too hard to see. You can't really put that light of a gray on black. It just doesn't work. I keep seeing this one a lot on Twitter, and I personally really like it. It's interesting, it's fun, it's totally unique from the other ones that are out there. I think my feedback was to give it some color. Let's check out the Behance presentation. All right, so this is cool. Okay. Nice. I like that you're showing the sketches, how you got there, original font, some changes is cool. Then you brought it in here. I actually like the structure. The composition is really nice. You got the animation here. And that was some of my feedback. Maybe add some color to it. Let's play this. I didn't even notice that little wavy thing. That's super cool. I guess my feedback here is it still doesn't look like you can book travel. Again, straight to the point I had on the first video, or on the first design. I want it to be something more like this. 100% clear that I can book travel. So this is just like here, I just don't understand that, you know, this is a place to book travel. You have these featured destinations, this new one, the moon, that's really exciting that I want to feature. I'm just not getting that here. There's something interesting going on here. I like this a lot. Is it a smaller phone? What? How come I think this is a smaller phone? If I were you, designing new comps right now, I personally would use either the iPhone 8, which this clearly probably is, or the iPhone X. Personally, I would always design for the iPhone X just because it's easier to scale back if you need to, as opposed to change things for the top notch. And it just looks like it's a newer, fresher design, a newer, fresher presentation. Because to me, this still, I don't know why, it's feeling outdated. Maybe because I've designed a lot of iPhone X apps already. I don't know, just something to think about. And again, that's just my opinion, but this is great. Can work on your text here. This is kind of hard to read. It should, a little bit more vertical spacing, maybe a little bit smaller text. Definitely the vertical spacing. The vertical spacing might help. You got 2 periods right here. When you're presenting designs too, you want to make sure, it's really hard to do, I think, because you try to do these designs so fast and suddenly it's presentation time. But try to just glance over your grammar and things and make sure you don't have, don't use lorem ipsum if you can help it. Like this 2 periods will always stand out. If you have a big misspelled word as a feature, it's always going to stand out, and it's harder for the client to get over that because they're not necessarily understanding the whole visual style sometimes. They're just kind of looking at content because that's what they're selling. They're selling this content. So it's just something to think about and to really focus on when presenting. This I really, really like because it's so simple. I love it. I actually really like that logo too. Now, what I'm missing, of course, is the booking. I want my booking stuff right up front and center. And I can literally visualize, if this had the 3 boxes for booking right here, this would be one of my favorites so far. Now I see that you have the packages here, which is really smart to think about. I like that you're now coming up with ideas to present, like product, business ideas to present to the client. That's always helpful. I love doing stuff like that, so thank you for doing that. And that's nice, like focusing on the detail of the seats as you scroll down. Adding humor to your comps is really, really cool. This is nice. This is really nice. Just a few small tweaks to this, and I think this is a contender. I really do. This I'm excited about. Yes, I love this. Definitely one of my favorite so far. Everything about it, it's got that futuristic feel. It's fun, it's playful, it's unique. There's nothing else like it. I love the colors. I love that it's like to me it says like universe, and just has like all of our destinations, everything like combined into one, showing that we go to all these different places and it's fun. It's for everyone. This is cool. I like the ticket idea. It's really nice. And I like that you're using the iPhone X in your presentation. How to moonwalk is pretty funny. Some humor goes a long ways. I don't really know what else this is other than just like your receipt, your ticket. I think what's throwing me off is this shadow here, and like it looks like it's like a vector iPhone X, and it's not 100% the right design of the iPhone X. Again, I could be wrong, but it looks a little funky. Not your design, but just the iPhone around it. Maybe try to find like more of a realistic iPhone, or like don't meet in the middle, right? Either go full realistic iPhone, or make sure people know it's not a real iPhone, like something fake, more flat style or whatever. I think that's just kind of what's throwing me off, and it's kind of muddying your design a little bit, especially down here with a gradient. Overall, besides that, it's actually really, really good. I might choose a different photo in the background too. Like you might not even need a photo, because I don't think the blue of whatever this is helping anything. Maybe make this how to moonwalk a little bit bigger, or stand out a little bit more. Other than that, like this is really, really, really good. So I would personally push it a little bit further. Just dive into it one more time. Try to take it a step further and see what you can come up with if you want to. It looks like they've done a few variations. I think this is cool. This actually would be really great, like banners and advertisements, like billboards and stuff, like especially flags. Like they made a flag, and this is great. I could totally see like flags down the street, you know, of that kind of animating, like of that kind of flying. I could totally, like, look at this right here. I love this. Okay, what I really like is that this feels like imagine like a card, right? Like you have like this, your credit card or your travel card, your space travel card. It totally looks like that. And those colors go so well together. I love this. Like that could be a really cool ticket. So I would personally push that a little bit further, because like if you could show me like some kind of pass or a ticket or something like that, because that's where this is headed. It looks great. It doesn't work so well here. I would get away from this. And this also looks totally different from everything else. Like these look like they belong together. This looks like something totally different. So keep focusing on this, push this a little bit further. I like the C like that, and that turns into a symbol as itself. I think it's interesting. So keep going. So this I really liked, but it's not what I want for Space logo, but I do want to mention that I like the creativity here. My issue with it was that it looked like it's trying to form two words. Like Aced is behind, you know, the silhouette. Like I'm imagining like this is like a planet right here, right? And SP is in front. Aced is coming out behind it. I do like the play on words, but that's the only thing throwing me off on this. Visually, it's beautiful. I love it. I love the yellow orange accent color, but I just don't think it works as a whole. But I do love it. So nice work. Again, so we have another smaller iPhone comp. Again, nothing wrong with that. I just would prefer the newer iPhone comps. I think these cards are a little bit too rounded for my personal taste, and I would not round the bottom bar. You usually see stuff like that on like cheaper type websites and like old websites. So I kind of stay away from that. Again, we're trying to be futuristic here. And other than that, like if you flatten this out, maybe use less cartoony icons. Like these two are great. Travel's great, live streams are great. I wouldn't use that for a profile, and I wouldn't use that for Explore. So if you change those, flatten that out to where it's not rounded off, just full bleed. Maybe go like 5 or 10 point on the curve here instead of, I mean, this looks like 100 or something. I think this is going to be a contender because this is really nice. I like the purple hues back here. I like the red new that stands out. Clear call to action. I love that it says 7 spaces remaining. This is great. I would just focus on those small details to push this a lot further. I think this is super fun. I know there's not a lot going on here. There's not a lot happening. But that's why I like it. It's unique. It's different. It makes me happy. I don't think the UX is good or great, but the visual style is actually pretty fun. Like the experience is pretty fun. Maybe add, I don't even want to tell you to add anything because I actually really, really enjoy this. If I could see it comped up in an iPhone X, maybe make it a little bit clearer that you can tap on those destinations. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is a contender. I would get rid of the about down here. Maybe actually have like some icons down there. Look at the moon. This is just awesome. All right, so that's all for now. I'm super stoked on all the submissions. There's a ton of creativity there. Keep pushing, keep trying new ideas. Like you have multiple variations if you want, and just keep going, keep jamming. We still got 12 days to do this, so plenty of time. And I'm hoping we get into the hundreds of submissions. I don't think we're at 100 yet. But let's keep going, let's keep pushing in there. Again, there's gonna be a winner in the best logo, best homepage design, which focus on letting me know I could book travel. Okay, that's something that's missing from almost all of these, is the booking travel up front. And the app, so just like a front screen of the app too. And again, focus on booking travel. This is not a marketing site. It's a place to book travel. So focus on that, and I'm excited. All right. Thank you for being a part of this. Hope you're having fun. Hope you like some of this feedback, and let's keep going.